welcome back. You're watching My Savage Homestead. I am today, it's cold outside, it's 32 degrees. I don't have anything I have to do in my garden. So this video is just going to be about dinner. So we're going to make a Picadillo Con Papa, which is basically a Mexican dish with hamburger, tomatoes, potatoes, and a lot of other ingredients to put in there. Very tasty. So this is what we're having for dinner tonight. So follow along with me and we're going to make Picadillo Con Papa. So for this meal, you're going to need to have canola oil or vegetable oil, it's up to you, cumin, garlic powder, Mexican oregano and salt and pepper, minced garlic, 1 yellow or white onion, and 1 medium russet potato. And you're going to need a pound of hamburger. So I'm going to tell you what you're going to need for this recipe. You're going to need 1 pound of hamburger. You're going to need 1 medium russet potato. You're going to peel it and cut it into cubes. You're going to need 1 onion. It can be yellow or white if you like. You're going to need 2 Roma tomatoes diced, but I don't have Roma tomatoes, but I do have Roma tomatoes in my jar that I had canned. So since we're going to make a sauce with the tomatoes, it's okay if it's already pre-canned. And then we're going to use some of those. You need 2 serrano peppers. I don't have fresh serrano peppers right now, but I do have my serrano sauce that I showed you a video back in, I think, late July on how to make serrano sauce. So we're going to use some of that in place of my whole serranos today. But in the recipe, at the end, I am going to list everything whole, like your fresh tomatoes and your fresh serranos. Then you're going to need cumin. You're going to need Mexican oregano. You're going to need garlic powder. You're going to need a tablespoon of minced garlic, salt and pepper. You're going to need oil. You're going to need some water. And that's all you're going to need for this ingredients. It's very quick, very simple, and we're going to go step by step on what you need to do to put this dish together. So okay, let's go ahead and get started and get the potato peeled. So basically you're going to peel a medium russet potato and you're going to chop it up into squares. You're going to make it the size of probably of a dice cube. Anything bigger than that, it won't cook through with the recipe here. You need to have it about the size of a dice or smaller. So what you're going to do is you're going to heat up your pan on medium to low, and you're going to add your 2 tablespoons of oil to the pan. And then you're going to go ahead and drop in your cubed potatoes. And you're going to lightly salt and pepper these. It's not the amount of salt and pepper that I gave you in the initial ingredients. This is just to season your potatoes as they're being cooked. And you're going to fry these up on medium to low until they're almost thoroughly cooked. And at this point, you're going to remove the potatoes from the pan. And you're going to set these off to the side. Okay, in the same pan, you're going to place your 1 pound of hamburger in there. And you're just going to make it into fine, small pieces. And then you're going to add, once it's thoroughly cooked, you're going to add your cumin in there. You're going to add your garlic powder. And then you're just going to drop in your salt and your pepper. And you're going to stir that up in the hamburger. Okay, now that you've got your spices blended in with your hamburger meat, you're going to add your onions and you're going to add your garlic to the mix. And you're going to cook this on medium to low for about 3 minutes. Okay, here comes your multitasking. While you got your onions and garlic cooking in the hamburger meat on the stove for 3 minutes, you're going to put your 2 whole serranos in a food processor or blender, whatever one you have. And then you're going to put your diced tomatoes in. Now remember, I didn't have whole fresh tomatoes, so I have mine in a can, which works just as well. So you're going to dice up those 2 Roma tomatoes and you're going to put them in your food processor or blender. You're going to add in your Mexican oregano. And this is a blend that I make myself. And then 1/4 cup of the water. And you're going to just puree this. Okay, now that you've got your sauce made, you're going to reintroduce your potatoes back to the pan. And then you're going to add your sauce on top of that. Now you're going to blend this together. And you're going to cook it for about 5 to 7 minutes, depending on the temperature of your stove. I have a gas stove, so it gets really high, so I have to put mine on low. And then you're going to cook that until the potatoes are now fork tender, and then you're ready to serve. Well, there you go, guys. Picadillo Con Papa. All it is hamburgers and potato. That's all that it means. It's in seasonings and some sauces, some hot sauces. So it was very simple to make, very quick to make, and it's very delicious. So follow along for more recipes from me, and I hope to see you on the next video. But please help me grow my channel and like and subscribe. Y'all have a good night. Thank you.